I don't expect anyone to learn this way. I just expect them to be exposed to it and block it a little bit. Jim can work with you later. So I just want to expose you and try to give you an explanation about how we do it. So now, if anyone has a technique they want to compare with the 17 to the 23, or just something you're having trouble with in either way of doing it, let me know. Tell me something you want to work on or see or experiment with.
Show some of the butterflies or the katas.
Okay. You're going to earn it. Now, once again, I want to reiterate, I switch hands constantly, so I don't always do it correctly according to proper kata. But principally, by God, it's there. Because I'm so used to switching hands, I do it and don't even realize it. But in these butterflies, one of the dangers is that you don't know if the guy's going to fake you or really hit you or what. Street fighting's a lot different than dojo kata, because, you know, it's like I had a guy come in and I said, we don't do that, stop it. And he was, well, I can hit you. Well, I'm going to react. So he sure enough, he threw a punch and I just flattened him. Hey, I was just trying to scare you. Well, you did. Hell, you didn't tell me you were going to try to scare me. You just put a fist in my face. And I didn't hurt him, but he didn't want to play anymore. Well, it's a dangerous thing to do in a dojo to begin with. But you don't know out on the street if they're going to dance with you, come straight in, or what the hell's going to happen. Well, how do you deal with that? You just get ready. He's not inside of my eye. Both of my hands are loaded. They don't look it, but they're loaded. But when he comes slow or fast, and we're going to go slow, I don't blood on his mat. Now he's crossed my eye, I better have moved. Well, what if he just faked the punch and he didn't really do it? Well, I still better keep moving. I mean, I could touch him, but I'm going to keep moving. That makes sense? So, butterflies were designed to not miss your target. Well, if you're watching your target, it's not going to work. You should be watching eyes, whether they're watching yours or not. If you watch like a knife, if any of you done knife work, if you look at the knife, you're going to watch that knife cut you or stick you. But you got peripheral vision. You're used to doing randori. Who cares if you get nicked a little bit? I care if I get stabbed. That's what I care about. Or slashed really bad. So butterflies were to ensure you didn't miss this. That's what most books say. According to Miyake, Sanako, it's so you know where one hand knows where the other hand is. Does that make sense? It didn't to me at first. But if you do this, one hand knows where the other hand is also. So if you clap, you know where both hands are. So if you can clap, you don't have to look at your hands to be able to find them. I mean, because you know all you're doing is clapping. So either hand I catch him with doesn't matter. I just clap them, and then I can do what I got to do. So we learned in randori, if we're randorian, none of you, even a white belt, would never do this in randori, because you're going to lose your face. Here, you use one hand, then you use the other hand, you use the other hand. So these butterflies can be dangerous. Now I've had other jitsu guys say, well, if you do that to me, I'll hit you with it or grab you with the other hand. Well, guess what? He can. He might not be able to do anything, but he might be able to waller me to the ground. But if I broke that with one hand and he wants to do that, it's okay with me, because I know how to clap. So he gets out here really slow, and he starts trying to use the other hand. I'm just going to clap. I didn't get to, but I got to knock him down. That's pretty efficient. So even when I do the 17, which I still practice, I don't break with two hands ever. I might have the other hand ready, but I'm not going to commit it. Because I got a son that's a jitsu and an MMA instructor, and he's taught me a lot of what not to do. Now I can't whip him, but I can defend against him. So if you want to still use a butterfly thing, that's okay with me, but you're losing half of your arsenal here. I mean, if I'm doing this, and he's a grappler, well, that wouldn't work with me. But you could scoop me, because I have no defense here. Judo guys would love you to do this. You nasty judo guys. So is that helping partly what you're... So, this is still a butterfly. I'm just taking this hand away. Or I'm taking this hand away. But positionally and more importantly, principally, this still represents a butterfly. The difference is, from here, I have to swing and I might lose my posture. But here I just let him fight and he swings himself. I don't have to watch his hand. I know it's got to be connected to this one. So butterflies are wonderful, and they also get you hurt if you happen to have a skilled grappler or jitsu guy, or one of us has just done a hell of a lot of rondori. Just a lot of rondori. So does that help any at all? Just keep in mind that this is still a butterfly. This is still a butterfly. And the other issue is here, I don't care how, you can't feel it. I can tell you right now you can't feel it. But when I turn loose of this hand to try to work with this one, his gut feels something that I can't feel. But if there's not two hands there to begin with, his gut can't feel anything. Believe it, it's one of those fascia things again. You just have to play with it to believe it, because you won't believe it at first. I want to share one last thing. I'm talking longer than I expected. I learned something. I always learn from the students. And if this guy makes a fist, we see this line of force. Would you agree? He's going to push me over. This is a line of force. But if he puts it there and just threatens me or whatever, do you see a line of force now? Y'all see a line of force now? There is one. He's got a fist. His fingers are pulling these four abductors. They're pulling them this way. So these guys that get out here and start threatening you, there is a line of force here from these fingers. See that? Well, this one you recognize. And we know that we can't handle perpendicular lines of force. So he's very weak this way. And he can be strong. Won't do him any good. But if he's just, this fist is just there and hadn't hit me, there's still this line of force. Well, those are perpendicular too. He's strong, it's okay. Won't do him any good, because you can take this hand anywhere you want to take it if he's got this fist clenched. Because those fingers are creating this line of force. I just learned this last night. We stayed up till 2:30 cranking on each other's wrists and being stupid because we were, I can't believe that worked. Which direction do you take it? You don't give a damn. The line is this way, so this will work, or this will work, or this will work, or that will work. Doesn't make any difference. It's still perpendicular. So you can play with this later on, or we can play with it now if you want. So now I'll shut up. Is there any other techniques out of the 1723 or comparing them, anything else you want to discuss? Any of it? Any of it? Huh? Oh, I love Kaze. Here's where most people mess up. Because in Kata form we go from Kota Haneri to Kaze. How many times have you watched or done it yourself, gone for this Kaze like this? I know some of you have because I watched some of you. Well, if I can't make this work, if he's got the capability of getting out, so by the way, the only safe way, if you just try to do this, he'll just break your wrist. But we know releases. So if I use this and step, I don't care how strong he is, I can break it. Any of you can break it. You could break this against Moose if you cock that hand and push and step. How many of you remember that for every 100 pounds of body weight at 3 feet a second, you're generating almost 300 foot-pounds of energy? How many of you remember that?
Let's equals mass times acceleration.
Yeah. For 100 pounds of body weight, at 3 feet a second, our normal walk speed, you're generating 300, or almost 300 foot-pounds of energy. Well, I'm 180 pounds. So if I step out here and drop weight and I ain't a big guy, but right here I can generate close to 600 foot-pounds of energy. I don't know anybody that can take 600 pounds with one hand and do this with it. If you do, shoot them, because it's Bigfoot or something. But even a strong guy can't stop you doing that. So, I'm going to move around so everyone can see this. But you do that 25 times in a class, you're going to be strained. There's no reason to strain yourself. Once you truly understand it, really understand it, back off and take care of each other. So I'm not going to force him to, he's going to step and push lightly so he doesn't get sore. But here's the problem. I'm stopped, I'm not moving. If he does that, I have to step with him, because I'm not strong enough to do this with noose. But if he gets out of it and I step out, he still doesn't have anything. Now, if he's going to turn and attack me, watch this. You see that hand? Everyone see what happened? I'll do it this way. He pushes out. See what happens? Well, in 23 you never quit moving, so I'm still moving. But as he does that, he hands that to me. He can't keep from it. So, there again, if you try to make these work, you might not. If you just move and wait, he'll hand it to you. So the issue is, the principle is, don't ever try to make this work. Allow it to work. Allow it to. I love Kata Gaish. I love Kata Gaish because there's so many different things you can do with it. Well, if they really have you locked, how do you get out of it? You release out of it. Everyone know how to escape Kata Gaish? Now, with him, he's light enough, and I'm not centered, of course, but he's light enough I can overpower him. So I have to pretend he's moved, so I couldn't do this. So the first thing, and this becomes one motion, one movement. First of all, don't do anything. I have to get my center in line with this, because right now it's nullified. But if I do a release as I do that, it's a problem for him. It's a real simple thing, because I do have jitsu guys come in and say, well, I do jitsu, I'd like to see you get out of this. Well, okay. This is called Milwaukee, get out of this. And you almost every time, and I don't care what it is, take a Tenkai. If you get your center in line and move, almost every wrist lock I've ever seen, you can just do a release with. And I don't want you to break my wrist, but I want you to be strong. That's strong. Go ahead. Now, he can't snap that faster than I can wiggle a toe. If I take a big, huge step and give him a second and a half, he'll break my wrist. But he can't do it if I just, in the time it takes to wiggle a toe, you can take an inch step. And doing so, you're dropping 300 foot-pounds of energy on him. He ain't that strong. So even if he's strong, you just sit and move a little bit, and you can release out of any wrist lock. Well, let's see you do it with Milwaukee. Well, where's the line of force? He's breaking my hand this way. This is my line of force, isn't it? Well, I better float with him and just do a release on him, do my toast or something. So the counter to any good wrist lock is moving your ass and doing a release. I'm sure most of you knew that. The question is, do you practice that? Because we started, Jack and Harry and me, we're dinosaurs. When we started this crap, there was no such thing as MMA and UFC. Some guys studied karate and judo or Aikido or whatever, but there was no mixed martial arts. Today, any asshole out here that's going to jump you has probably been to an MMA school or he wouldn't have the nuts to come after you. You see what I'm saying? So it's changed since we started training in this stuff. We didn't have to worry about how to escape for nothing, because no one could get away from us. We didn't have to worry about getting away from them. You better think about it today. But releases, to me, are the most important thing you'll ever study besides the walk. And realize that all these cool things, this is my favorite. 3 different police classes I gave, and all 3 told me this was the ultimate wrist lock. There's no escape from this. Any jiu-jitsu guys seen this? I'm sure you have. Because I can snap that before he can do anything. Well, that's not true. Where's his line of force? It's going this way. He's breaking my hand this way. So if I just move this far with his power and pop my wrist to do a release, he'll just slide out of there. Now you can't wait till he has it broken. You got to move pretty quick when you see him setting this up. But even if he sets it up and says, "Stop right now, I'll break your wrist," you say, "Well, I don't think so." You might want to play with this a little bit, or you might want to work with him later on this, but because I'm really sick of hearing this as the ultimate lock-up. There's no escape from this, because there sure as heck is. So, anything else?